60% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. This article is from a couple months ago. You can go find it. This is just the headline, actually. But 60% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Many of you have seen other headlines like this in the recent months, recent years. Very similar type of headlines. But this doesn't have to happen. Quite frankly, very simply, this does not have to happen. You cannot, as Jeff Booth says, you cannot fix our current system, our current reality from the current system. You cannot do it. You cannot have inflation and expect to have a wealthy society. Expect to have a retirement. Expect to have productivity last well into the future. You can't expect human civilization to continue going forward. And Jeff Booth always is one of the most brilliant people at talking about this. But when you have technology, when he always asks someone, do you believe technology produces more wealth or produces a higher standard of living or gives you more for less? And everyone says, well, yeah. And he says, well, why are prices always going up then? It's an unbelievable question, and it's one you have to ask yourself. Those two things are opposite of each other. Inflation and technology are opposite. This is the system, though. And again, the people like Ben Bernanke who want deflation to not happen here, the IMF, I understand at a human level. I understand that many of these people, they're dealing with the hand they've been dealt. Whether it was the '08 crisis, there's some great documentaries to watch regarding the '08 crash and the counsel that George Bush was being given by Hank Paulson and Timothy Geithner and Ben Bernanke and people that are Keynesians, unfortunately. But these guys grew up in a world where it was just fiat. There was just Keynesian way of life. I mean, there's no one alive today that I know of, at least maybe a couple, but there's no one alive today that was born before the Federal Reserve. Everyone's only known inflation. Everyone's only known manipulated monetary policy, manipulated money, manipulated currency. That's it. We don't know anything else. So let me see here. This does not have to happen, right? This absolutely does not have to happen. We have many things like just sound money in general and like Bitcoin that can give us a deflationary money. So these people are been given the hand they were dealt, and they don't want it to collapse in their system. They don't want a depression, and I get that. And probably the best way out, whether it's Larry Lepard, there's a lot of people that say the best way out is probably to do the IMS playbook and financial repression and print their way out and try to create some type of soft landing. Now, there's never going to be no collateral damage. If you go into a 20s, 30s style depression and we just reset the system and do what we should be doing, true responsibility and accountability, maybe more people get hurt. I don't know. We're probably past that point, right? And that's a lot of argument of what people make, the Keynesian side and kind of the Austrian side as well. Everyone not everyone, but a lot of people do agree in a way that you need to have some type of financial repression. And if you could get everyone to understand what's happening, that would be the best case. But unfortunately, there's going to be collateral damage on both sides. If you go into the depression style, you're going to have mass chaos, a lot of unrest, a lot of collapse. I believe, though, again, at the end of the day, you're going to have the forest fire that goes through and you're going to have new growth sprout up a lot quicker. And so we have chosen, and we're going to choose, financial repression, which will be inflation for a long time, stagnant growth, stagflation, whatever you want to call it, but a lot of currency printing, lower productivity and gains, a lower standard of living, and we're going to try to ride this out. We're going to try to create this malaise and print our way out of this, reduce the government debt, and then just transition to a new system. The elites, the unproductive class, want a system where they can control it still. The plebs, all of us, do not want that. We want a system of fairness, of freedom, of liberty, of free markets, and price discovery. That's only going to come with sound money. Gold and silver were that for thousands of years, but it kept getting centralized. Now we have an answer. To me, the answer is Bitcoin. It was discovered for this reason, for this time. In the Genesis block, Chancellor on the brink of second bailout. It was discovered for this time. It's the sly roundabout way. It's the Henry Ford 100 years ago, the energy money to stop wars. We have it now. This is not a new thing. It's not a new phenomenon. It's been being worked on for decades by cryptographers. And we had Satoshi put it together the right way and finally get it right. And we now have that. And this is why I rail on this all the time. Inflation doesn't have to happen. This does not have to happen. It's clown world to think that this does have to happen because it's opposite of productivity. It's opposite of gains. It's opposite of the real world. Inflation is the expansion of monetary supply, period. And that only happens in a broken currency, a broken money, where the people at the top are allowed to just take your time and energy, steal your time and energy from you, and then sprinkle it back into the propaganda machines, the media, government, indoctrination camps, and back into government themselves to go to more war, send it to Ukraine. So all these little vectors, they get to just funnel your time and energy, stolen time and energy, stolen wealth and property from all of us, a lot of it without us even asking, without asking us, and they get to put it back into whatever they want, brainwashing people and psychological operations on people. And beating you over the head with things and trying to force you to take things into your body and believe things that you don't want to believe. This is the world we have come to because of the broken money, because we've lost God and because we've broken the money. So let me know your thoughts on this. Please share this out. Please share, if I hit you with any signal in the noise here, please share this out. The algorithm hates truth. And the only way, again, I have a lot of people that ask, why isn't this channel growing faster? And it should be, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, because the algorithm hates truth. And because we only started in the last year, and I was not doing this for the last 10 years like I should have been, because I was doing other things, building businesses and the family office and investing and things like that. But now with that experience, I can come bring it here, and I'm much better than I would have been 10 years ago. So we will build, we will grow, but it's with the help of community. We always say, right? Get out of the system. Bitcoin, gold, silver, food, energy, water, lead, ammo, firearms, security, land, and build community. Build community in the physical real life. Go shake a rancher's hand. Go see the people around you providing for you, and then build community together. How can we help each other? So that's the number one thing we can do as community. Because there will be chaos going forward, but there's going to be unbelievable things. And history has shown us that, whether it's civil wars, revolutionary wars, the French Revolution, and on and on and on. There's chaos, but there doesn't have to be as much if we educate ourselves and if we share truth out into the masses and we educate enough people. We only need 3%. 3% of America gave the 97% America. So think about that. Please share this out. This is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. Bitcoin is not you shouldn't think of it as like, oh, I'm going to get rich quick. That should not be what it's thought of. The price is the least interesting aspect to Bitcoin, because the monetary USD price won't even matter in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. It'll just be Bitcoin. It'll just be sats. So thinking of stacking sats and the freedom and liberty it gives every person in the control of their property and wealth, people in Somalia, people in Sudan, people in Thailand, people in Russia, people in Europe, people in America, people in El Salvador. That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The underbanked and the unbanked being served at a level that was impossible in the current system. People actually being enslaved in the system and then taken out of the system, censored from the system, or never let in the system. That's the system, the fiat legacy inflationary system we live in now. We don't have to have that anymore with Bitcoin. So I appreciate you being here. Please share this out. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. I appreciate you being at my TED Talk, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.